The gospel reading for this morning comes from the Gospel of Luke. It's not one that is given to us from the lectionary. I decided to move away from the lectionary for this Sunday. Otherwise, it would still be in Matthew. Instead, I chose a passage that many people are very familiar with, and that is the parable of the prodigal son. And what is common out there is to think that this parable is about a wayward person and how this wayward person is welcomed back into the home by a father full of grace and love. And that interpretation applies, but today I want to offer that in reality it's about more. It's about more than just one wayward person. Maybe it's about the father or the elder brother. Let us consider this parable from different points of view, and not so much about one person who is wayward. It is a passage about division, about strife in the family, about a division that has pulled them apart, and then how people are reunited and reconciled. I chose this passage because the open and affirming covenant that we will make later this morning is one that reconciles us back with the LGBTQ community. It is a covenant that puts us back into grace with that community, letting them know that not only are they welcomed here, but that this church could also be a part of their lives. So it is printed on the insert if you want to follow along. According to the Gospel of Luke, Jesus said there was a man who had two sons. The younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of the property that will belong to me." So he divided his property between them. A few days later, the younger son gathered all he had and traveled to a distant country. And there he squandered his property in dissolute living. And when he had spent everything, a severe famine took place throughout the country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him to the fields to feed the pigs. He would have gladly have filled himself with the pods that the pigs were eating, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired hands have bread enough and to spare? But here I am dying of hunger. I will get up and go to my father, and I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me like one of your hired hands.' So he set off and went to his father. But while he was still far away, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. And he ran and put his arms around him and kissed him. And then the son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his slaves, 'Quickly bring out a robe, the best one, and put it on him, and put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. And get the fatted calf and kill it. Let us eat and celebrate, for this son of mine was dead and he is alive again. He was lost and he is now found.' And they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field. And when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the slaves and asked what was going on. He replied, 'Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fatted calf because he has got him back safe and sound.' Then the older son became angry and refused to go in. His father came out and began to plead with him. But he answered his father, 'Listen, for all these years I have been working like a slave for you, and I have never disobeyed your command. Yet you have never given me not even a young goat so that I might have a party with my friends. But when this son of yours comes back, and who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fatted calf for him.' Then the father said to him, 'Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours was dead, and he has come back to life. He was lost, and now he has been found.'" Here ends this reading, and we ask for God's blessings upon it. May it deepen our faith and our relationship with God. Amen.